Alright, what's up everybody? I'm Eric Harrison. You know the drill. We're gonna freaking review these damn Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and we're up to number 3 now, Dream Warriors from 1987.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Freddy's just around the corner.
Alright guys, so Dream Warriors came out in 1987 and it was written and directed by Chuck Russell. Now the original script for Part 3 was written by Wes Craven, but it was ultimately rejected by New Line Cinema as maybe a little bit too dark and a little too vulgar. I think that Wes Craven was trying to take the series back to its dark roots. You know, is understandable, but apparently New Line Cinema wanted something maybe that was going to be a bit more commercial, so then they recruited Chuck Russell and Frank Darabont, of all people, to come in and kind of rewrite Wes's script. Alright, so the plot of Dream Warriors is we're introduced to this character named Kristen who has a run-in with Freddy Krueger that seems to ultimately make it look like she attempted suicide, which results in her getting sent away to a place called Weston Hills, which I guess is an institute for troubled teens. There she meets a group of other kids that all seem to have the same problem with having nightmares about this scary Freddy Krueger guy. Nancy Thompson from the original Nightmare on Elm Street comes in to help lead and help these group of troubled teens conquer their fear and conquer Freddy Krueger. So after the fan response to Part 2 was less than warm, New Line Cinema decided we need to bring the fun and the imagination back to this series, which they did do in a big way with Part 3. We get characters back from the original Nightmare. We got Heather Langenkamp comes back to reprise her role as Nancy Thompson. Robert Englund, of course, is back to do Freddy Krueger like only he can. John Saxton comes back to reprise his role as Nancy's father. And then we're introduced to this new, very likable character, I must admit. Patricia Arquette plays Kristen. There's a lot of characters in this movie, and that can sometimes be very problematic, but they freaking did it perfectly in this movie. They really juggled the characters perfectly in Dream Warriors. You get to know everybody. Everybody gets a decent, their perfect share of screen time. But I think watching this movie again, what I realized, one of the reasons why, well, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons why I really like this movie so much is that I can identify with these damaged misfits that are kind of like, they don't fit in with society, so they don't even get to be a part of society. They were taken away and all kind of locked in this place. For a long, long time in my life, I actually had a lot of issues myself. I had a lot of rage issues. I was depressed at a very young age. I was suicidal from a very young age all the way through my teenage years. I went through tons and tons of counseling, people trying to figure out, therapists trying to figure out what was wrong with me and whatnot. So, I kind of feel like I belong in this group of characters. I feel like one of the misfits that I could be sitting in the circle with them talking about, my problems. So I can really relate to these guys, but they're all very likable too, and each of them has like a very unique personality, and they all have a special dream ability. Of course, that doesn't do a whole lot of good once Freddy decides to start taking them out really quickly, but at least they tried. So yeah, with Part 3, this movie got it right on pretty much every level. They brought back the imagination in a big way. They brought back the dream premise. Oh my god, imagine that. It's called A Nightmare on Elm Street and it's all about dreams. Something number 2 forgot. they freaking brought that back and made up for it in number 3 in a big way. It's such a fun movie to watch. There's so many awesome effects, practical effects, mind you. Stuff that somebody actually put time and effort into building and making it work on set, on the day. You get to see so many cool visuals, and it's like something's happening all the time. You know, another thing that they got right with Dream Warriors, which is kind of iffy. Some films get it right and some films don't, is that they added some backstory to Freddy that didn't exist before, that we didn't know about. Sometimes, you've heard me complain about this in the past, like, you don't just make up stuff, but in this case, they got it so fucking right that it doesn't seem like it's something they just made up. You believe that's Freddy's real backstory. That Amanda Kruger was a nun. She got locked in an asylum with a bunch of psychos that raped her numerous times, like these really fucked up, messed up people, and wound up getting her pregnant, and that's how Freddy was born, and that's why he's such a messed up, demonic person. Like, that is so hardcore. What an origin story to this scary ass villain. It makes him so much more scary and evil. Another thing that they do in this movie is there's a bunch of religious undertones. There's a lot of religion in this movie. But we got Amanda Kruger in there saying more than once that, like, you need God, is basically what she's saying to the main character of this movie, Neil. She's like, you need Jesus. Well, I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what she's saying.
What faith do you follow?
Science, I suppose.
Sad choice.
There are times when it doesn't offer much comfort.
Now, I'm not a religious person, but if you watched, or rather listened to the commentary I did for the original Nightmare on Elm Street, you'll have heard that I compared Freddy Krueger to Lucifer, and his boiler room is like hell. That's his hell. I'm not a religious person, but considering I compare Freddy to, like, Satan, yeah, it kind of makes sense that he would ultimately be defeated by religion and faith, or at least until the next movie.
Sorry, kid. I don't believe in fairy tales.
If there's anything I really could complain about, I would say I kind of don't like that Nancy dies in this movie. At least she survived through the first one. At least she survived through, like, all of this movie and didn't die till the end, so that's cool. But even though she does, and I have to accept that, I don't like the way that Freddy just stabs her, kind of laughs in her face a little bit, and then tosses her aside like nothing. This is the character that he was unable to get for so long. He could always kill so many people, but he could never get Nancy, and he was always after Nancy, trying to kill her, and he finally gets her in the stupidest way possible, and then he just throws her aside like it ain't no big deal. At least you could have made it, I don't know, a bigger moment, made Freddy really relish in it a lot more. He kind of comes off like he just doesn't give a fuck, but he really should feel like he won, you know? Like, you should see it in his eyes, like, I finally fucking got you. So that's probably my only complaint about Dream Warriors, because this goddamn movie is so badass on every level. And I'm not just jumping on the bandwagon because I know it's a fan favorite. I especially after watching part 2, where you can compare this to part 2 and say, that's how you don't do it. Well, Dream Warriors fucking is how you do a fucking sequel to A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think they captured lightning in a bottle with this movie. Of course, I have to mention that this movie has probably one of the most badass theme songs ever fucking written. Dream Warriors by Dokken. Oh, yes. I actually listen to this song like on a weekly basis, at least. Probably more than once a week. It just pumps me up, dude. It's such a good 80s glam rock song. It gets me fucking all pumped up. Dream Warriors. Alright, I'll spare you. But anyway, trust me, it's badass. So go check out the video. It's really funny with Dokken conquering Freddy. So, let's go ahead and rate this son of a bitch. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I feel like they couldn't have made a better sequel. Dream Warriors, 4.5 out of 5. Highly recommended. Alright guys, so as usual, I did the commentary for Dream Warriors. Go ahead and check that out. Watch it with me. I actually had a lot more fun doing this one, as you'll hear. So grab a 12er, 12-pack if you're of age, and get drunk and watch Dream Warriors with me. I'm also offering some extras to anybody that wants to go and donate a few bucks to my Patreon page. You can go over there and you'll get to see all the extended outtakes and bloopers from my reviews. You'll also get a weekly update video from me where I'll tell you what's going on with all the projects, with the videos, where I'm at with it, what I'm thinking about doing next. And you'll also have the chance to vote on which movies you want me to review. So, if you got a few bucks you can spare, go ahead and go to Patreon and help support fucking Ingenious, and you'll get some extra stuff out of it. We also got merchandise now, so if you want a shirt or a fucking Ingenious beer mug or something, you can check that out. Links will be at the end of this video. Anyway, if you can't afford to donate or anything like that, it's cool, man. Just keep watching and liking my videos and commenting, because I like to read you guys' comments. And that's enough selling. I'm out, so I'll catch you guys on the next video. It'll be Dream Master. Ninja Vanish! Let me do a number 2. I mean, let me do a take 2. Let me do it. Yeah, hold on. I gotta do a number 2. Okay. Now I can do the review. Ingenious.